For centuries, the Galactic Council had reigned supreme over the known universe. This powerful alliance of alien civilizations considered themselves the pinnacle of technological and cultural advancement. They looked down upon other species, viewing them as little more than primitives to be exploited or subjugated. Among the races that fell under the Galactic Council's disdain were the humans, a young, upstart species from a small, unremarkable planet. The Council members scoffed at humanity's comparatively limited technological capabilities, their short lifespans, and their barbaric social structures. To the galactic elite, humans were nothing more than insects, scurrying about their insignificant corner of the galaxy. "They have no place among the stars," declared Xyloth, the Venusian representative on the council. "Their cities are little more than mud huts, their ships slow and clumsy. What could they possibly contribute to our grand civilization?" The other council members nodded in agreement, their holographic forms flickering with an air of condescension. For decades, they had implemented policies to restrict human expansion, denying them access to vital resources and technology. The humans, they believed, should be content to remain confined to their homeworld, serving as humble suppliers of raw materials and agricultural goods. But the humans were not as powerless as the Galactic Council assumed. In the shadows, their scientists and engineers had been quietly pushing the boundaries of their knowledge, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a fierce determination to prove their worth. While the council members basked in their arrogance, unaware of the danger brewing, humanity was on the verge of a breakthrough that would shatter the very foundations of the galactic order. The catalyst for this shift came in the form of a young prodigy named Amara. Born on the bustling city planet of New Tokyo, Amara had always possessed an extraordinary intellect, her mind constantly buzzing with new ideas and innovative solutions. As she rose through the ranks of humanity's scientific community, her colleagues marveled at her ability to see patterns and connections that others had overlooked. It was Amara who first proposed the concept of a seventh dimension, a realm of existence beyond the constraints of the known physical world. Her theories, though initially met with skepticism, slowly gained traction as she continued to refine her models and conduct groundbreaking experiments. And when she finally demonstrated the incredible potential of seventh dimension technology, the reverberations would be felt throughout the galaxy. Unbeknownst to the Galactic Council, Amara and her team had managed to develop a revolutionary propulsion system that tapped into the very fabric of the seventh dimension. This dimensional drive, as they called it, allowed for instantaneous, virtually limitless travel across vast distances of space. No longer would humanity be confined to the slow, arduous journeys of conventional spacecraft. With this new technology, the stars were well within their grasp. Yet, even as Amara's team celebrated their triumph, they knew they must keep their discovery a closely guarded secret. The Galactic Council, with its long history of exploiting and subjugating less advanced civilizations, could not be trusted with such a powerful technology. If word of the seventh dimension drive were to reach the Council's ears, humanity's very existence could be at risk. And so, Amara and her colleagues set about building a vast network of hidden facilities and clandestine research outposts, all dedicated to further refining and perfecting their seventh dimension technology. As the Galactic Council continued to dismiss humanity as insignificant, unaware of the storm brewing on the horizon, the humans worked tirelessly to prepare for the day when their true capabilities would be revealed. As the Galactic Council continued to ignore and underestimate humanity, the human scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to refine their groundbreaking seventh dimension technology. Led by the brilliant Amara, they made rapid advancements, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The key to their success lay in Amara's revolutionary theories about the nature of the seventh dimension. She believed that by tapping into this previously unknown realm of existence, they could overcome the limitations of traditional propulsion systems and achieve incredible speeds and maneuverability. After countless experiments and simulations, Amara and her team finally succeeded in developing a prototype dimensional drive engine. This device was capable of creating a stable wormhole-like portal, allowing a spacecraft to instantly traverse vast distances by bending the fabric of space-time. The first successful test of the dimensional drive was a moment of pure exhilaration for the human scientists. As their experimental craft disappeared from one location and reappeared thousands of light years away in the blink of an eye, they knew they had unlocked the key to unlocking the stars. "This changes everything," Amara declared, her eyes shining with triumph. "No longer will we be confined to our home system, at the mercy of the Galactic Council's whims. With this technology, we can explore the universe, forge our own destiny." With renewed vigor, the human team set to work on scaling up the dimensional drive technology, creating larger and more powerful versions suitable for interstellar travel. They built hidden research facilities across the solar system, far from prying eyes, and recruited the brightest minds from around the globe to contribute to the project. As the months turned into years, their efforts paid off. The dimensional drive engines became increasingly efficient, capable of transporting entire fleets of ships across the galaxy in mere moments. Amara and her colleagues also discovered ways to weaponize the technology, creating powerful beam weapons and defensive shields that could withstand the most formidable alien armaments. Yet, through it all, they maintained the utmost secrecy. The Galactic Council could never learn of humanity's revolutionary breakthrough, for fear of the consequences. The very existence of the seventh dimension drive could upset the delicate balance of power in the galaxy, threatening the Council's dominance. So, the humans worked in the shadows, carefully concealing their true capabilities. They fed the galactic bureaucrats just enough information to maintain the illusion of technological inferiority, all the while preparing for the day when they would unveil their power to the cosmos. Amara knew that eventually, the time would come when they could no longer hide their light under a bushel. The Galactic Council's arrogance and oppression would push humanity to a breaking point, and when that day arrived, the humans would be ready to strike back with a vengeance. "We will show them the true might of humanity," Amara said, her voice filled with quiet determination. "They have mocked us for too long, treating us like insignificant children. But now, the tables will turn, and the Galactic Council will learn to fear the power of the seventh dimension." With that, she turned her attention back to the schematics, refining the dimensional drive designs, and dreaming of the day when humanity would rise to claim its rightful place among the stars. As the years passed, the Galactic Council remained blissfully unaware of the technological revolution brewing within the human civilization. They continued to view the humans as inconsequential, little more than a minor annoyance to be managed through trade agreements and diplomatic pressure. However, a growing faction within the Council began to question this complacent approach. Led by the ambitious Xyloth, these counselors argued that humanity's potential posed a threat that could no longer be ignored. "They breed like vermin, and their numbers are growing exponentially," Xyloth declared during a heated council session. "If we do not act now, they may one day challenge our dominance. We must assert our authority before they become a problem we can no longer control." The other council members, while not entirely convinced, could not ignore Xyloth's warnings. After much debate, they reached a consensus. A decisive show of force against the humans would be necessary to maintain the galactic order. And so, the Council dispatched a formidable fleet of warships to a human colony on the fringe of their territory, with orders to deliver a clear message: the Galactic Council was the supreme power, and any defiance would be met with swift and overwhelming retaliation. The human colonists, caught off guard by the sudden arrival of the alien armada, scrambled to mount a defense. Their modest planetary defenses and outdated spacecraft were no match for the technologically superior galactic vessels, and it seemed that the humans were doomed to suffer a crushing defeat. However, unbeknownst to the Galactic Council, the colony was home to a secret research outpost, where Amara and her team had been quietly refining the seventh dimension dimensional drive technology. When the news of the impending attack reached them, they knew that the time had come to reveal humanity's true capabilities. Summoning their most advanced seventh dimension-powered ships, the human defenders launched a daring counterattack. The Galactic fleet, confident in their superiority, was caught completely off guard as the human vessels disappeared and reappeared behind their lines, unleashing devastating energy beams and missile barrages. The battle that ensued was unlike anything the Galactic Council had ever witnessed. Their ships, designed for long-range engagements and slow, methodical maneuvers, were utterly outmatched by the lightning-fast, highly maneuverable human craft. Entire squadrons of galactic warships were destroyed in the blink of an eye, their crews left bewildered and terrified. Psylocke, observing the carnage from the command bridge of the galactic flagship, felt a growing sense of dread. His bold plan to assert the Council's dominance had backfired spectacularly, and now his fellow counselors were looking to him for answers. "How is this possible?" one of the galactic admirals demanded, his voice trembling. "Their ships move like ghosts. Their weapons tear through our armor like it's nothing. What kind of technology are they using?" Psylocke's mouth went dry as he struggled to formulate a response. The truth was, he had no idea. The humans had managed to keep their seventh dimension capabilities a closely guarded secret, and now they were paying the price for their arrogance. As the battle raged on, the Galactic Council's fleet found itself in a desperate retreat, their once formidable ships reduced to little more than scrap metal and debris. The human forces, led by Amara's skilled pilots, pursued their enemies relentlessly, cutting off any chance of escape. Faced with the prospect of total annihilation, Psylocke had no choice but to order a surrender. With a heavy heart, he transmitted the signal, acknowledging the Galactic Council's defeat and the stunning victory of the humans. "We underestimated them," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "We thought they were weak, insignificant, but they have shown us the true power of their technology, and now we must face the consequences of our own arrogance." As the battered galactic fleet retreated, the human colonists erupted into celebration, realizing that their long-held secret had finally been unveiled. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted, and the Galactic Council would never again dismiss the might of humanity. The stunning defeat of the Galactic Council's fleet at the human colony sent shockwaves through the entire interstellar community. For the first time, the arrogant council members were forced to confront the uncomfortable truth. Humanity had developed technological capabilities that far surpassed their own. Back on Earth, the news of the victory spread like wildfire. The human population, long accustomed to being dismissed and overlooked by the galactic powers, erupted in a fervent wave of pride and patriotism. Amidst the celebrations, the leaders of the various human governments convened to discuss their next move. "This is a pivotal moment in our history," declared the President of the United States, her voice commanding the attention of the assembled leaders. "For too long, we have been content to play by the Galactic Council's rules, but no more. The time has come for us to assert our rightful place among the stars." The other leaders nodded in agreement, their expressions grim but determined. They all knew that the Galactic Council would not accept this humiliation lightly. Retaliation was inevitable, and humanity needed to be ready. "We must mobilize our full strength," said the Chinese premier. "Gather our seventh dimension fleet, reinforce our defenses, and prepare for the Council's wrath. They will not stop until they have crushed us, so we must strike first." Amara, who had been invited to attend the emergency meeting, listened intently as the leaders debated their options. She understood the gravity of the situation better than anyone, having dedicated her life to developing the seventh dimension technology that had turned the tide of the recent battle. "The dimensional drive gives us an unprecedented advantage," Amara said, her voice calm and measured. "With our ship's speed and maneuverability, we can outmaneuver the Galactic Council's forces and strike at their most vulnerable points. But we must use this power wisely and with great caution." The leaders recognized the wisdom in Amara's words. They knew that a reckless display of human might could provoke the Galactic Council to retaliate with unimaginable force, putting the entire human civilization at risk. After hours of intense discussion, a plan began to take shape. The human governments would coordinate the mobilization of their seventh dimension-powered fleets, while Amara and her team would work tirelessly to further refine and enhance the dimensional drive technology. The goal was to create a deterrent so formidable that the Galactic Council would have no choice but to accept humanity's place as an equal in the galactic community. "We will not be the aggressor," the President declared, her eyes hardening with resolve. "But if the Galactic Council chooses to bring the fight to us, then we will be ready. We will show them the true power of humanity, and they will learn to fear the wrath of our seventh dimension ships." With that, the leaders began to disperse, each returning to their respective nations to begin the massive undertaking of preparing for the impending conflict. Amara remained behind, her mind already racing with new ideas and calculations, determined to give humanity every possible advantage in the battles to come. "This is only the beginning," she whispered, a glimmer of anticipation in her eyes. "The Galactic Council has no idea what we are truly capable of. When the time comes, we will unleash the full might of the seventh dimension, and they will tremble before us." As the sun set over the global capital, the stage was set for a confrontation that would forever change the course of galactic history. The news of the Galactic Council's humiliating defeat at the human colony had spread like wildfire across the known universe. The once arrogant council members now found themselves in an unfamiliar position, facing a threat that they could no longer ignore or dismiss. Determined to reassert their dominance, the galactic leaders quickly assembled a formidable armada, drawing from the military forces of numerous member civilizations. This time, they vowed, the humans would be crushed, their uprising quelled before it could spread and inspire other lesser species to challenge the Council's authority. As the galactic fleet approached the edge of human-controlled space, they encountered a sight that sent a chill down the spines of even the most seasoned commanders. Arrayed before them, like a curtain of steel and light, was the combined might of humanity's seventh dimension-powered warships. The human vessels, sleek and streamlined, bore no resemblance to the clumsy, slow-moving craft the Galactic Council had come to expect from this upstart civilization. Their hulls shimmered with an otherworldly energy, and their weapons glowed with a power that seemed to defy the very laws of physics. "Open a channel," the Galactic Admiral commanded, his voice betraying a hint of unease. "Let us parley with the humans. Perhaps we can reach a diplomatic solution before bloodshed." But the humans had no interest in diplomacy. As the galactic envoy's transmission crackled to life, a cold, resolute voice echoed through the fleet's communication systems. "You have had your chance to negotiate," Amara said, her words laced with a quiet fury. "Now you will face the consequences of your arrogance and your aggression." With that, the human ships surged forward, their dimensional drive engines propelling them with unimaginable speed. The galactic vessels, caught off guard by the sudden assault, struggled to respond, their cumbersome maneuverability proving no match for the nimble human craft. Beams of searing energy lanced out from the human ships, slicing through the galactic fleet's armor like a hot knife through butter. Entire squadrons of warships were reduced to floating debris, their crews vaporized in an instant. The galactic commanders barked orders, desperately trying to regroup and mount a coordinated counterattack. But the humans were relentless, their ships darting and weaving through the chaos, striking at the most vulnerable points of the enemy formation. "How is this possible?" one of the galactic admirals cried, watching in horror as his flagship's shields collapsed under the onslaught. "Their weapons, their speed. It's beyond anything we've ever encountered." Xyloth, the Venusian representative who had so arrogantly instigated this conflict, could only stare in disbelief as his once mighty fleet crumbled before the human onslaught. He had been so convinced of the Galactic Council's superiority, so certain that the humans were no match for their technological might. Now, as he watched his ships being torn apart, one by one, he realized the gravity of his mistake. The humans were no longer the primitive, insignificant race he had dismissed. They had evolved, and their seventh dimension technology had given them a power that the Galactic Council could scarcely comprehend. In the midst of the chaos, Amara's voice once again echoed through the communication channels, her words cutting like a knife. "This is only the beginning," she warned, her tone laced with a dangerous edge. "If you persist in your attempts to subjugate us, the price you will pay will be far greater than you can imagine." The Galactic Admiral, his face pale with fear, had no choice but to order a retreat. As the battered and broken fleet limped away, he knew that the balance of power in the galaxy had been forever altered. The humans had emerged from the shadows, and they were a force to be reckoned with. As the battered galactic fleet retreated, the human commanders knew that their initial victory was only the beginning of a much larger conflict. The Galactic Council, once so arrogant and dismissive, had now tasted the bitter sting of defeat, and they would not rest until they had crushed the upstart human civilization. Amara, the brilliant scientist whose seventh dimension technology had proven so devastating against the galactic forces, convened a meeting with the human leadership to discuss their next steps. "We have gained the upper hand for now," Amara said, her expression grave, "but the Galactic Council will not give up easily. They will regroup, they will rethink their strategies, and they will come back at us with even greater force." The assembled leaders nodded, their faces etched with a mix of determination and trepidation. They all knew that the stakes had never been higher. The very future of humanity hung in the balance. "Then we must be ready," the President said, her voice firm. "We will mobilize every resource at our disposal, every ounce of scientific and military might, to ensure that when the Galactic Council returns, they will face a force they cannot possibly overcome." With Amara's guidance, the human governments began to pour their collective efforts into enhancing the seventh dimension technology. New, more powerful dimensional drive engines were developed, capable of propelling ships at previously unimaginable speeds. Laser weaponry was refined, the beams transforming into devastating, precision-guided instruments of destruction. And as the preparations continued, the human commanders began to devise a bold, audacious plan, one that would not only defend their home systems, but strike a decisive blow against the Galactic Council's very heart. "We will take the fight to them," the Chinese premier declared, his eyes gleaming with a steely resolve. "We will infiltrate the core of their empire, their most heavily fortified strongholds, and show them the true power of the seventh dimension." Amara listened intently, her mind racing with the tactical implications of such a bold move. She knew the risks were high. The Galactic Council's defenses would be formidable, and the human forces would be vastly outnumbered. But she also recognized the potential rewards. A victory on the Galactic Council's own turf would shatter their aura of invincibility, sending a clear message that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. "It's a risky gambit," Amara admitted, "but if we can pull it off, it may be the key to turning the tide of this war permanently in our favor." The human leaders debated the plan for hours, weighing the potential costs and benefits. Ultimately, they'd reached a consensus. The time had come to take the fight directly to the Galactic Council, to show them that the days of human subjugation were over. As the preparations continued, Amara and her team worked tirelessly to refine the seventh dimension technology even further. They pushed the limits of the dimensional drive engines, developing new methods of stealth and evasion that would give the human forces a crucial edge. And when the day of the decisive strike arrived, the human fleet, led by Amara's most experienced pilots, vanished from their home systems, reappearing deep within the heart of the Galactic Council's territory. The Galactic Defenders, caught completely off guard, found themselves overwhelmed by the sheer speed and ferocity of the human assault. Beams of searing energy lanced out from the human ships, carving through the galactic vessels like a hot knife through butter. Entire squadrons of warships were reduced to floating debris, their crews vaporized in an instant. The Galactic Council's command center, a sprawling orbital station that had long been considered an impregnable fortress, found itself under siege. Amara's forces, exploiting the dimensional drive's unparalleled maneuverability, darted and weaved through the station's defenses, raining down destruction upon the terrified galactic leaders. As the battle raged on, it became clear that the tide had turned. The once arrogant Galactic Council, so sure of their technological and military superiority, now found themselves on the brink of total defeat, their carefully constructed empire crumbling around them. And at the heart of this stunning reversal stood Amara, her eyes shining with a fierce determination, as she watched the human forces unleash the full might of the seventh dimension. "This is for all the years of your condescension and oppression," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of the raging battle. "Humanity will no longer be your plaything. We have risen, and we will forge our own destiny among the stars." As the human forces continued their relentless assault on the Galactic Council's command center, the once proud leaders of the Interstellar Alliance found themselves in a state of sheer panic. Their vaunted defenses had crumbled in the face of the humans' seventh-dimension technology, and they were now facing the very real prospect of total annihilation. Xyloth, the Venusian representative who had so eagerly instigated the conflict, paced the command deck of the station, his face etched with a mixture of fear and disbelief. "This cannot be happening," he cried, his voice shrill with desperation. "How can these primitives be so powerful? They were supposed to be no match for us." The other Galactic Council members, equally shaken by the turn of events, could offer no response. They could only watch in horror as the human ships continued to slice through their defenses, their powerful energy beams tearing apart the station's critical systems. Amidst the chaos, a lone figure stepped forward. The Arcturian counselor, a respected elder whose cool demeanor and strategic acumen had guided the Galactic Council through countless crises. "Xyloth," the Arcturian said, his voice steady and measured, "it is time we accept the reality of our situation. The humans have proven themselves to be a formidable force, one that we clearly underestimated. Continuing this fight will only lead to our complete and utter destruction." Xyloth opened his mouth to protest, but the Arcturian raised a hand, silencing him. "We have no choice," the Arcturian continued. "We must surrender, and we must do so with dignity. It is the only way to salvage what we can from this catastrophic defeat." The other council members, their faces etched with resignation, nodded in agreement. They knew that the Arcturian was right. The human onslaught had left them with no viable path to victory. Surrender, as painful as it was, had become their only option. As the human forces closed in, the Galactic Council transmitted a signal of surrender, their once proud banner of unity lowered in a show of submission. Amara, watching from the bridge of her flagship, felt a surge of triumph as the message reached her. For so long, her people had been dismissed and overlooked, treated as little more than insignificant pawns in the grand game of galactic politics. But now, the tables had turned, and it was the mighty Galactic Council that was forced to beg for mercy. "They have learned the price of their arrogance," Amara said, her voice tinged with a hint of satisfaction. "Now they will see the true power of humanity, not as a subservient race to be exploited, but as an equal, if not superior, force in the cosmos." As the human ships surrounded the battered Galactic Council station, Amara hailed the defeated leaders, her expression grave but unyielding. "You have brought this upon yourselves," she said, her words echoing through the communication channels. "For too long, you have lorded over the galaxy, crushing the dreams and aspirations of countless civilizations. But your reign of tyranny is over." Xyloth, his face pale and his shoulders slumped, could only nod in silent acknowledgement. The once proud Venusian, so convinced of his own superiority, now found himself humbled before the might of humanity. "We surrender," he said, his voice barely audible. "Humanity has earned its place among the stars. We will accept your terms." Amara's expression softened slightly, a glimmer of understanding in her eyes. "There will be no terms," she replied. "This is not a conquering, but a reckoning. The Galactic Council will now have the opportunity to rebuild, to learn from its mistakes, and to embrace the diversity of the galaxy. with humanity as an equal partner, not a subservient race. As the human fleet took control of the Galactic Council's command center, the once mighty interstellar alliance found itself in a state of unprecedented humility. Their arrogance had been shattered, their power broken, and now they would have to confront the consequences of their actions. For Amara and the people of Earth, it was a moment of vindication, a validation of their long-held belief in their own potential. The stars were no longer the exclusive domain of the galactic elite. They belonged to humanity as well, and the future was filled with boundless possibilities. The stunning defeat of the Galactic Council's forces at the hands of humanity's seventh dimension technologies sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. For the first time in centuries, the once unassailable alliance of alien civilizations found itself humbled and vulnerable, its aura of invincibility shattered. In the aftermath of the battle, the Galactic Council members convened an emergency session, their faces etched with a mix of shame, fear, and uncertainty. They knew that they could no longer dismiss or ignore the threat posed by the humans, and that the only path forward was through a diplomatic resolution. "We have no choice but to seek peace with these humans," the Arcturian counselor said, his voice weary. "Our military might has been proven inadequate, and we cannot afford to risk the complete destruction of our civilization." Xyloth, the Venusian representative who had so recklessly provoked the conflict, reluctantly agreed. His once unwavering confidence had been shattered, replaced by a growing sense of dread and a newfound respect for the power of humanity. "We must swallow our pride and extend an olive branch," Xyloth said, his words laced with a palpable reluctance. "If we are to salvage any semblance of our former authority, we must convince the humans to see us as worthy partners, not mere conquered subjects." The other council members nodded in somber agreement. They understood that the very survival of the Galactic Council now hinged on their ability to negotiate a peaceful resolution with the humans, a task that would require a complete rethinking of their long-held attitudes and policies. As the council deliberations continued, Amara and the human leadership watched the proceedings with a mixture of caution and anticipation. They knew that the Galactic Council, for all its past arrogance, was a formidable adversary, and that any misstep in the negotiations could have devastating consequences. "They will come to us with demands, with conditions that they believe will restore their dominance," Amara said, her brow furrowed in thought. "We must be prepared to stand firm, to ensure that any agreement reached is one that truly acknowledges humanity's rightful place as an equal in the galactic community." The human leaders nodded in agreement, their resolve steeled by the knowledge that they held the upper hand. They had proven their technological superiority, and they were determined to use that leverage to secure a future where humanity's ambitions and aspirations were no longer shackled by the Galactic Council's oppressive policies. As the negotiations began, the two sides found themselves navigating a delicate dance of concessions and demands. The Galactic Council, despite their weakened position, still sought to maintain some semblance of control, while the humans remained steadfast in their insistence on true equality and autonomy. Tensions flared at times, with both sides accusing the other of acting in bad faith. But Amara's cool head and diplomatic skill, combined with the human leader's unwavering determination, eventually led to a breakthrough. The final agreement, hammered out over weeks of intense discussions, outlined a new framework for interstellar cooperation, one that recognized humanity as a full and equal member of the galactic community, with the right to participate in the governance and decision-making processes of the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council, in turn, would cede certain rights and resources to the humans, acknowledging their technological prowess and granting them access to coveted sectors of space. It was a delicate balance, but one that both sides ultimately agreed upon, recognizing that it was the only path forward that would ensure lasting peace and stability in the galaxy. As the news of the historic agreement spread, the human population erupted in celebration. Gone were the days of being dismissed and overlooked. Humanity had now claimed its rightful place among the stars, empowered by the incredible capabilities of the seventh dimension technology. Amara, watching the joyous scenes unfold, couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. The journey had been arduous, fraught with challenges and setbacks, but in the end, the human spirit had triumphed, proving that they were no longer a race to be trifled with. "This is just the beginning," Amara whispered, a smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "The galaxy is ours to explore, to shape, to conquer, and we will do so with a power and a vision that the Galactic Council could never have imagined." The historic agreement forged between humanity and the Galactic Council ushered in a new era of cooperation and progress throughout the known universe. Gone were the days of human subjugation and dismissal. Now, the once mighty alliance of alien civilizations found themselves forced to treat the humans as true equals, their technological prowess and strategic acumen commanding respect and admiration. At the heart of this newfound partnership was the seventh dimension technology that had proven so pivotal in humanity's stunning victory. The Galactic Council, recognizing the immense potential of the dimensional drive and its associated systems, sought to integrate this breakthrough into their own fleets and infrastructure. "We have much to learn from the humans," the Arcturian counselor admitted, his voice tinged with a mix of humility and fascination. "Their ability to manipulate the very fabric of space-time is a revelation, one that could transform the way we traverse the galaxy and conduct our affairs." Amara, now a leading figure in the human delegation, oversaw the knowledge-sharing process, carefully guiding the Galactic Council members as they sought to master the intricacies of the seventh dimension technology. She recognized the importance of this collaboration, not only for the sake of interstellar peace and prosperity, but also for the continued advancement of humanity's own scientific and technological prowess. "By working together, we can unlock new frontiers of exploration and discovery," Amara said, her eyes shining with excitement. "The galaxy is vast, and there are countless mysteries yet to be unraveled. With the combined resources and expertise of the Galactic Council and humanity, we can push the boundaries of what is possible." As the integration of seventh dimension technology progressed, the effects were felt across the galaxy. Trade and cultural exchange between human and alien civilizations flourished, with the lightning-fast dimensional drives, facilitating the rapid movement of goods, services, and ideas. Moreover, the Galactic Council's once rigid hierarchical structure began to evolve, with the humans actively participating in the decision-making processes that shaped the course of interstellar affairs. The once dismissive alien leaders now found themselves seeking the counsel and expertise of their human counterparts, acknowledging the valuable contributions that humanity had to offer. "We have learned a valuable lesson," the Venusian counselor, Xyloth, admitted during a televised address. "Humanity's ingenuity and determination have shown us that there is more to the galaxy than mere conquest and subjugation. By embracing our differences and working together, we can achieve greatness that none of us could have imagined on our own." As the years passed, the fruits of this newfound cooperation became increasingly apparent. Groundbreaking scientific discoveries, technological advancements, and cultural exchanges flourished, creating a vibrant tapestry of progress and understanding that spanned the far reaches of the cosmos. Amara, now a revered figure among both human and alien civilizations, found herself at the forefront of this transformation, her visionary leadership and tireless efforts playing a crucial role in shaping the destiny of the galaxy. "We have come so far," Amara mused, gazing out at the glittering expanse of stars from the window of her office. "The days of Galactic Council oppression and human subjugation are behind us. Now, the possibilities are limitless. We can explore the unknown, unlock the secrets of the universe, and forge a future where all sentient beings can thrive and prosper." As Amara's words echoed through the halls of the newly established Galactic Alliance, a sense of optimism and excitement permeated the air. The once daunting challenges that had once seemed insurmountable now felt like mere stepping stones on the path to a brighter, more interconnected future. And at the heart of this transformation stood humanity, no longer the overlooked and underestimated species, but a vital, integral part of the galactic community, a force to be reckoned with, and a beacon of hope for all who sought to challenge the status quo and embrace the boundless potential of the cosmos.